There's a new Honda Accord, the 11th generation. I'm Tom Voelk for the Seattle International Auto Show, and the one that I'm driving is the hybrid. It'll definitely save you some gas. Accord has been one of the best-selling cars in the U.S. for decades. It's built here, too, in Ohio. Honda says Gen 11 is on a new global platform. While the wheelbase remains exactly the same, it's nearly 3 inches longer now due to longer overhang. If you had your heart set on the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, sorry, not available anymore. There's now a choice between a 1.5-liter turbo and this hybrid, which is a skosh more powerful now. Honda says that going forward, 50% of all Accords will be hybrids. This top-trim touring model in Canyon River Blue is fully loaded with an MSRP of $39,000. That's including shipping. The hybrid boosts Honda's CAFE numbers, and it adds some zip. Not all hybrids are pokey. This'll spool up to 60 miles an hour in just under 7 seconds, which might be a second slower than the outgoing 2-liter turbocharged 4, but this has massive fuel economy advantages. At an EPA-rated 46 miles per gallon in the city, the hybrid is more than twice as efficient as the outgoing turbo. And don't forget, electric motors have instant torque off the line, so this feels quicker than it is. And sometimes perception is more satisfying than reality, huh? The outgoing Accord had a hybrid powertrain. This one is different. The 146 horsepower 2-liter 4-cylinder runs the Atkinson cycle, as hybrids often do. The traction electric motor makes 181 horsepower. A second one for power regeneration makes 161. It feeds the 1.1 kilowatt-hour battery pack and smaller intelligent power unit tucked under here. Total system power is 204 horsepower and 247 pound-feet of torque, a smidge higher than before. This hybrid system is very much like the one found in CR-V, which only makes sense, though Accord is not available with all-wheel drive. Now, generally, the gas engine runs a generator, which sends the electricity through the battery to the electric drive motors. There isn't a real transmission. There are 2 lockup clutches, though, that will engage to drive the wheels directly for best efficiency. The engine may or may not kick on at startup. Seems to be temperature and drive mode dependent. The old-school Prindle shifter masks the high-tech happening in the drivetrain. Personally, I prefer these to vague electronic joysticks. Paddles decrease and increase the recuperation drag. There are 6 levels of that. And there are the obligatory drive modes. Those have been expanded in this generation. There's an EV mode, too, for motoring about on battery power alone at low speeds for very short distances. Price-wise, it's hard to compare the 1.5-liter turbo Accord with the hybrid because the gas-only models are only sold in the 2 lowest trims. The difference between the top turbo model and the lowest hybrid is around $2,300, but the hybrid offers more standard kit, cheaper to operate too. The hybrid is EPA rated at 44 miles per gallon combined, and I pretty much saw that. The turbo, 32. Think about it, that's 12 mpg better than the 1.5-liter turbo-equipped Accord, and this powertrain is smoother, so not only are you getting efficiency, you're getting better refinement. Honda took the time to pipe performance engine sounds into the cabin under hard throttle and tune the driveline to feel like there's traditional cog swaps. There are some telltale hybrid powertrain signs, but really, considering the complexity of this, the gas engine that's primarily running a generator that powers the wheels electrically, it feels remarkably like a normal car with a gearbox. Yes, those shifts feel real even though they're simulated. Sort of like the Matrix. And from behind the wheel, this roomy sedan offers up some satisfaction. When it comes to handling in class, Accord is still kind of the one to beat. Body movements are very nicely controlled, it's sporty, plus it's comfortable, it soaks up bumps nicely. Nicely done, Honda. When using the brake pedal, the transition from regenerative to the physical binders is pretty much undetectable. Automakers are getting good at that. There's some very good ADAS technology dubbed Honda Sensing, like improved automatic emergency braking with pedestrian and cyclist detection. New Traffic Jam Assist helps with the drudgery of slogging through stop-and-go traffic under 45 miles an hour. And Touring gets additional low-speed sensors that keep parking lot impacts less likely. Plus, Accord is a good vehicle for doing distance in. Remember when Honda was kind of known for having a lot of road noise? This is much better. For starters, it has active noise cancellation technology, sort of like your headphones. There's added sound deadening material all throughout the cabin. Plus, the Touring is especially hushed because it has acoustical laminated glass on the side windows and the windshield. Only hybrids get the active noise cancellation. It reduces boominess and rumble. Modern Honda interiors are getting this design approach. The long stretch of grid pattern gives the cabin a wide planted visual, and the hardware feels expensive. This is what owners see the most of. Smart of Honda to put money and style into this space. For the most part, materials look a grade higher than pricing would anticipate. The new seat design uses a fairly firm cushion. Honda claims better support on longer trips. On Touring, they're heated and vented. This is leather, by the way. Every Accord hybrid gets wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay and this larger 12.1-inch touchscreen. Only the Touring gets a Qi pad for charging devices and a solid 12-speaker Bose sound system. Make sure to stock up on USB-C cords. It's all that's offered in here. Touring's interface is unique in that it gets Google Assistant as an upgrade. It uses the wake phrase, "Hey Google, my butt is cold." It does rely on a data service. That's free for 3 years. After that, it's a subscription service. Storage? Yeah, there are the usual spaces. I always appreciate a place for sunglasses. The back seat is very spacious. Honda claims best-in-class legroom. A wide bench takes on 3 adults easily. The Touring gets bun warmers back here. All in all, the carpool gang should be happy. Sedans may not be as useful as SUVs, but Accord pulls its weight when doing chores. It has quite a large trunk, largest in class. It's 16.7 cubic feet. If that doesn't mean much to you, figure it can swallow up 7 carry-on suitcases without too much of a problem, and even more if no one is sitting in the back seat. Accord is an institution. If you're thinking about buying a sedan, you really need to test drive it, otherwise you're cheating yourself. I mean, it looks good, it's got a nice cabin, it's quiet, it's comfortable, it's efficient if you're going with the hybrid. Accord has been on Car and Driver's 10 best list since my hair was dark, so I think that tells you something. Really, test drive this sedan. Accord continues to be a wise choice. Honda has guided the sedan towards mainstream goodness for nearly 50 years without making a bad decision. Check in with your local Honda dealership for a test drive. For the Seattle International Auto Show, I'm Tom Voelk.